Hubert believes the kitchen counter belongs to him, and anything left on it has to go. He has already sent around 10 plates and 20 cups crashing to the floor, and nobody ever taught him to do it. Somehow, this little parrot simply decided that keeping the counter clean was his job.
You can't eat my chips. Nope. Stay away, mister. Stay away.
Hubert is obsessed with keeping the counter clear. Anything left in his space gets pushed aside, even though nobody taught him to do it. Somehow, he decided that keeping the counter clean was his responsibility.
Whee! Woo! Woo!
Unfortunately, he started with things that were very easy to break. Over time, Hubert has destroyed around 10 plates and probably 20 cups.
Good boy.
After enough accidents, I finally learned the obvious lesson and stopped leaving glasses anywhere near him. Anything fragile on that counter is basically an invitation for trouble. Once the glasses disappeared, Hubert didn't stop. He simply moved on to other objects. Boxes of food, makeup, containers, and almost anything else can become his next target. He doesn't necessarily care what the object is. If something is sitting where he thinks it shouldn't be, his first instinct is to push it away.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that there are limits to Hubert's confidence. We have another bird named Lucy, and one day, Hubert ended up beside her on the counter.
Okay, Hubert. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Hey, you said hi. Good boy.
Suddenly, the bird who happily sends everything else toward the floor became much more careful. He didn't try pushing Lucy anywhere. Lucy isn't exactly the friendliest character, and I think Hubert understood that some things are better left alone. People sometimes underestimate how intelligent parrots like Hubert really are. Living with one can feel surprisingly similar to having a 2- or 3-year-old child in the house.
This is my soap. You're not going to use that soap. I'm going to use the soap, okay? So I'm going to turn on the water over here. Going to go in the shower, and I'm going to wash.
They watch everything, learn routines, develop preferences, and find ways to get your attention. They also require much more interaction than many people expect when they first see a beautiful parrot.
What you doing over here? What you doing over here?
I'm an entrepreneur, so I don't always have unlimited free time, but I try to spend at least an hour or two with Hubert every day.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That time matters because these birds need interaction and stimulation. Hubert isn't the kind of pet who is happy being ignored in the background. He wants to be involved in whatever is happening around him. He also seems to have a particularly strong attachment to me. Sometimes I joke that Hubert thinks I'm his mate because of the way he behaves around me. Whatever he actually thinks our relationship is, there's no doubt that he sees me as an important part of his world.
Hold on. Okay. Wait, 1 second.
One of my favorite sides of his personality comes out when he dances. Hubert starts tapping his feet and moving from side to side, almost like he's doing his own version of salsa. Watching such a serious-looking bird suddenly start dancing is impossible not to laugh at, especially because he seems completely committed to what he's doing.
Why are you holding a piece of wood? Why are you holding the piece of wood? You wanna give me the wood? You wanna give me that piece of wood?
Hubert also has a friend named Bro. They sometimes sit together and eat, and Bro is probably the closest thing Hubert has to a best friend. Their relationship can be funny because Hubert isn't always the easiest bird to live with. He can be a bit of a bully around other birds, but Bro remains part of his little social world. As funny as Hubert's life usually is, things became much more serious when he developed a medical problem. He began suffering from a prolapse, which means tissue was coming out from his rear and causing problems when he tried to relieve himself. It was something that clearly needed veterinary treatment, rather than
Good.
something we could simply wait out.
Here's Hubert eating some pellets, late night snack.
The veterinarians pushed everything back into place and added sutures to keep it there. Hubert also had to wear a neck brace so he couldn't reach down and pull the sutures out himself. With a bird as curious and determined as Hubert, preventing him from interfering with his own treatment became an important part of his recovery. The medical costs were another shock. The tests alone were around $3,000, and the expenses kept growing. I'm not poor, but there comes a point where repeated veterinary bills begin feeling like a bottomless pit.
Hubert? Hey, come on, out of the strainer, I said. Hubert, I said out of the strainer.
I started working on a GoFundMe page because, regardless of the cost, Hubert needed to be taken care of.
Say hello. Hi. Yeah, hi. Good boy. Yes.
That experience also reminded me what people are really committing to when they bring home a parrot. These aren't animals that stay with you for a few years.
You want to go in the water? You like that? It's a good temperature. It's a perfect temperature.
A bird like Hubert can potentially live for around 40 years, so the relationship can become a huge part of your life. There is responsibility involved in that, especially when health problems appear unexpectedly.
Hubert, can you get out of the utensil? There's knives in here, Hubert. Hubert, what are you doing in the utensils?
Even with the broken plates, destroyed cups, medical bills, and constant attempts to control the kitchen counter,
Good boy.
Hubert gives us plenty in return. He makes us laugh all the time. His intelligence, strange habits, dancing, friendships, and stubborn personality make ordinary days much more entertaining. I have learned to accept that the counter will probably always belong to Hubert in his mind. The best I can do is keep anything breakable away from him and let him satisfy his need to push safer things around. Boxes of food and other harmless objects can become his targets if that keeps the glasses on the shelf.
Like this? Okay, say, go. Yeah.
If I could explain one thing to Hubert, I would tell him to keep being exactly the funny bird he is. He can keep dancing, spending time with Bro, making us laugh, and even clearing harmless things from his favorite counter. I would only ask him to leave the glass objects alone. After everything we've been through together, the mess doesn't seem very important. Hubert is a demanding, intelligent, ridiculous little companion, and caring for him is a commitment that could last decades. I wouldn't have his personality any other way. If you enjoyed this story about Hubert, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more touching stories.